So this is about adjusting the timing on your timeline. Um, if you have this, you should be able to, actually we want this guy to select all, and I can see um, it doesn't look like it's actually selecting all, which is interesting. So the other way to select all, I'm going to actually hide a couple of these walls, um, is to go into your pick mask and turn everything off, and then turn on curves because all your controls have curves. I'm wondering why there's curves up here. That's a bit concerning. Is there two rigs in here? There appears to be two rigs on top of each other. That's not good. I'm just going up the hierarchy. So there's this whole rig and this, which appears to be. Does that have anything to do with this guy? No, I don't think so. Original. So yes, hopefully we've gotten rid of the extra rigs. Now I just selected some of those controls and then hit the up arrow until I got to the top of the hierarchy. So let's see if this is working now, just out of curiosity. It appears to be working now. Um, but either way, I will show you what I was saying was if you turn all objects off, turn on just curves and marquee select, that should select all the controls as well. If I right mouse click here and say reveal selected, you should see a lot of selected controls. Um, anyway, either way should work. So now I can see the keyframes on their timeline. Let's make sure our animation preferences are set to real time, which they are. Play it back. And yeah, everything's happening really fast and there's no holds in there. So I'm going to first lengthen the timeline. Let's just say 300. And one thing I can do is scale this. So if I hold down Shift, click and drag, it selects all those keyframes. And then these little yellow triangles on the outside will allow me to scale. So let's try this. And then what I also like to do is snap so that nothing's at a fractional keyframe. So I'll right mouse click and go to snap. Okay, and that makes sure nothing's at a fractional keyframe. Okay, let's watch it now. Of course, that timing is off now, so we'll need to fix that. Okay. Not sure what that. So, I'm not sure what this motion is there from here to here. But we'll play with it for a minute. Anyways, the other thing I wanted to mention is that for every pose, oh, that's interesting. You don't have everything keyframed on every pose. So let's go back through these and just make sure we have everything keyframed on every pose. I'm gonna select everything and let's just go to each keyframe and hit S. So I'm gonna click this one, hit S. This is go to next keyframe, S, next keyframe, S, 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 S. There we go. Okay, so now everything is keyframed every pose, which is how we want it in our first stages of pose to pose. Anyways, what I was starting to say was that for every pose, you should adjust really all the controls at least a little bit. And by the way, this foot should be in IK as well. I'm going to delete the keyframes off of that, otherwise it'll take it off of IK. Let's see, this is the one right here. This should be at 10, or it will mess up the foot, and I'm going to delete the keyframes off of that so that this just stays IK. All right. So what I was starting to say was that for every pose you should move every control, and the most important one to move is the root. So I'm not exactly sure what this motion is meant to be, but just to get my point across, I can do that, maybe move this out a touch. By the way, I have auto keyframe on. I know I'm on a frame that already has keyframes, so I can adjust these and they'll automatically keyframe. Okay. Now, this is subtle, but, it kind of keeps him alive. He's going to start moving right back up. Right, and then the next thing to know is that you want to do holds. So an easy way to do a hold is if I go forward, let's say to frame 40, and again, let's select all the controls and hit S. So the important thing was middle mouse keyframing because that updates the time without updating the animation. And so now see how it's not moving between these two frames? So it goes to this first pose and then holds it, and then you can go to another pose, let's say this one. I'll go back, and again we want to do things like adjust the spine, and again I'm doing this kind of randomly now. You should spend a little bit more time on your poses and really think about what they mean and stuff like that, but just kind of as a quick demonstration. But whatever, I've adjusted the pose, and then again middle mouse click some amount forward, select everything, set a keyframe, and so now there's a hold on that pose. So see, I go hit it, pose, hold it, hit a pose, hold it, etc. The timing obviously isn't great, and I'm not exactly sure what those poses mean right now, but if I want to adjust the timing, again, make sure everything's selected, and let's say, okay, these things need to be much faster, so I can shift, click, and drag to highlight those, drag from here, make this a little quicker, maybe make this quicker, so those are sped up a little bit now. Okay. To fix this situation, what I would do is, let's turn surfaces back on. And is this a group? It is. Good. I might center the, wait a minute, how is that animated? What is making this move? Oh, that is what moves, I see. Ah, and I didn't have that. So I'm just going to take, that's interesting. How are you making this move with it? Oh, they're all individually keyframed. Okay, not too fun. Okay, so let's go ahead, and it's called Group 8. I'll call this like headset. How about that? Is that good? And I'm going to unparent that out from where it's parented. So I hit Shift P a couple times. And let's shift click on this to open it up, grab these guys, and let's delete the keyframes off. Delete by type, channels. Okay, so I've deleted the keyframes off of those. Not a bad idea to delete the history while we're at it. History. Okay. So now I'm going to animate it from the headset, and let's center the pivot on that. Modify center pivot, and so I'm gonna. What I want to do is basically parent it to the hand, so it moves with the hand. But I'm going to make two of them, so that one moves with the hand and one doesn't. So, go to a frame like this, and let's duplicate here, and we call one of these headset head, and one of these headset hand. And while at this frame, I'll use this hand control. That should work. So I'm going to go. The child is the headset hand, and I'll shift click the hand control, assuming you're going to stick with that FK control, and then hit P for parent. So now what we have is we have one that stays there and one that moves with the hand. Okay, and then the key is going to be to swap the visibility on these. So on the frame right before the hand moves away, and you'll want to decide that before you do this animation. So I'm going to key the visibility off on this one, and then go one frame forward, and then turn it on. Wait, did it key? It didn't, sorry. Back one, off, select, right mouse click, key selected, forward one, on, key selected. Okay, so we've done that one where it appears as soon as he moves it away, and then we're going to go to the other one, the headset head, and we'll say this is visible up to this point, and we'll go one frame forward, and then we'll turn the visibility off. So we've just swapped the two. So they're both there, it's just the visibility swaps on exactly the frame that his hand moves it away. So now, so the thing to do though is to get your timing on that right first before you worry about it. And now, I guess maybe it should be parented to his head, that headset head. Yeah, let's take this headset head child and parent this to this neck control P. Okay, so now that's better. It moves with the. Oh, we gotta look out for that. You'll have to adjust the hand animation so that doesn't intersect his, his face. And the other thing is, I think you're gonna have a little bit easier of a time with this if you switch this hand to. I'm gonna put that to 10. Delete the keyframe off of that. I think you're gonna have an easier time animating the hand if and getting it to kind of move off the way you want, because I feel like you have to slip it off vertically, like pull it off the top first and then put it down, and that kind of motion is just going to be easier with this IK control. And so in that case, when you animate it, you're going to want to parent it to that control and not that FK hand control. So just I'm gonna go up, headset head. That's fine where it is. It's the other one, the headset hand. Yeah, you probably want to put both hands in IK. I'm just gonna search for that real quick. Headset star. Field selected, headset head. Did I delete it or something? Where did I put that? It should be. Well, anyways, just duplicate it again when you animate this to take it off. I can get rid of the keyframes on this until you do that. So yeah, I would animate these again and use these, because I just think to pull it off vertically, like you can just move this straight up, but to do that same movement with FK, rotations is just hard. So I would recommend that. Yeah, I hope this helps a little bit. Let me know if you have any